I win every time if I want to. The world mine if I want to. Make the world mine cause I want to. Even on the days when I'm late as...
Madden football brings you the divisional round of the NFL playoffs, and it's brought to you by EA Sports. It's the Cardinals and the Bucs, and it's all up next.
Playoff football has come to the west coast of Florida, and we are at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. Coming up, an important divisional round matchup in the NFC between the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you take a look at this Buccaneer ball club. They come in feeling good after back-to-back victories.
And they looked awfully good last week and came away with a 2-touchdown victory. They did have a few reasons for concern defensively, but all in all, they'll take a repeat here if they could get it.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Cardinals here, they too were winners last time out, so something's got to give here.
And I love it when both teams come in off of wins. Great mindsets, and it usually leads to a really well-played game.
Two spots in the NFC title game awaits the winner here as we're underway in the divisional round of the NFL playoffs. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. Leading them out, a player who led the league in passing and interceptions in his final season in Tampa. But, of course, he knows this franchise he's facing well. He was the first overall pick by the Bucs in 2015, Jameis Winston. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On 2nd and 9, Winston looking middle, and that's complete. But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Jameis to throw it. To the sideline, and oh, that's well done. Able to drag the feet. He's going to have the first down. On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. A gain of 3, 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Play fake. Winston. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get this to the 40-yard line before he's out of bounds. That goes for 14 yards. First down, Cardinals. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
First down, Winston. Finding his target, it's Trey McBride. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. Hands it off out of the gun. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, here's Winston. And that is incomplete. On 4th down, they'll try and run for it. And he's able to get the first here as he's taken down at the 25. Well, we kind of looked at each other as they decided to go for it, but in the end, great execution, a 6-yard gain, and it all works out. Running game working, they'll stick with it on 1st down. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. We're scoreless after 1. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. Winston. His throw incomplete. The 13th play now coming on this opening drive. Here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Winston. He's got a man. That's caught left sideline. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down, and this has been a great opening drive. You know, at this point, they'd hate to settle for 3, but they've created a fresh set of downs and a 1st and goal.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's 1st and goal. They go play action. Winston. Escaping the pressure right. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete. They'll go again from the 3 here on 2nd and goal. They'll try to run this one in. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. Winston now. He's got his man. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona. From 4 yards out. And the Cardinals are on the board first here in this division round matchup. Forget about the storylines of being intimidated in the playoffs on the road. I mean, that was pretty clinical right there.
Yeah, they didn't treat it like it was a playoff game in January, did they?
No.
That felt much more like, hey, we're back in August, running a few drills in the practice field. They seem unaffected by what they're facing in this one.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. And what a drive that was. 16 plays all told. And it winds up in a touchdown for Arizona. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This one fielded at the 5. So here are the Bucs now to take over for the first time. And they will be led out by their rookie quarterback.
All in all, he was pretty solid in the victory in the wild card round and threw a couple of touchdowns. And when it comes to quarterback play, you'd always love spectacular. But in the playoffs, you'll take solid. And that's exactly what they're looking for from him again in this contest.
They'll start this drive out on the ground. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. That time a little misdirection really seemed to fool the defense.
And think of it this way. From the time you're in high school, you're taught to watch film and pick up tendencies. Sometimes they can use those against you, though, when they break their own tendencies and hit you back the opposite direction, huh?
From up near the 40 now after the big play to start. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And some nifty running there. Ultimately, it doesn't get him a whole lot, but it does take him to the 45. 2nd and 4. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. They're going to look to throw. He's got a man complete. It's Amari Cooper. And he is going to have the Buccaneers 1st down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8. So, Charles, you look at this offense, you think about it, you got a rookie quarterback at the helm. You're in the divisional round of the playoffs here. That head of his just has to be spinning, doesn't it?
Well, normally you'd have to say yes, but I do think that the way things went last week, how he played in the wild card win, how sensational he was, that'll stop his head from spinning. And now he's in a situation that's getting towards uncharted territory because you've got Joe Flacco, Mark Sanchez, the only 2 rookies to win 2 playoff games in 1 year. He's trying to join that company, but it's not going to be easy to get it done.
Now a quick slant as the throw's complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Now left side on the swing pass. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And he'll be out of bounds, able to get it down to the 25 there. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. 9-yard line, 2nd and 6. Back to throw again. And he pulls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Amari Cooper, a 9-yard touchdown ground. And the Bucs are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. Well, with this rookie QB, we talked a lot about his ball placement and how good he can be at laying it right in there. I think we just saw, Charles, though, the strength of that arm. That was an absolute rifle for the completed touchdown.
It absolutely was, and let's face it, you think he was really ready to get that first touchdown? Absolutely. He threw that pass with authority, just as you described. Big-time arm right there. And let's face it, a lot of quarterbacks used to be pitchers in baseball. The fastball was usually their best pitch, and we saw it there.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Cardinals. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. And he's got him. Got his man on the end route. Complete. The Cardinals going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. On 1st and 10, Winston. Wide open receiver complete. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the 1st half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Winston. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's going to get 7 out of this before being taken down at the 27.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston throwing middle, and it's complete. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. The kick by Elliott is good. And they take the lead here now at 10-7. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in this NFC divisional round matchup. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
Okay, Brandon, this is the second of 4 games this weekend as we narrow the field down to the 4 teams who will meet in the league championship games next Sunday. We'll get back out to you guys in just a moment. But first, let's take a look ahead to tomorrow's other divisional round game in the NFC. And it looks like we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Detroit Lions taking on the Chicago Bears. Time now for a check of the next-gen stats in that first half for the Cardinals. And even though they've got a halftime lead, they're likely devising ways as we speak to try and get a little more production from their passing game. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, they did not have quite the same amount of success in the passing game that their counterparts did, as you get a look at the numbers there.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point. From the 10. Out come the Buccaneers. They'll have it first to start in the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, that had to be an interesting locker room at halftime. This is a team that's had so much success this year. Haven't really had to deal with a lot of adversity at halftime, to be honest. But now here they are with their playoff lives on the line.
And I think when you're alluding to that interesting locker room, you're just wondering, how are they handling that bit of adversity that they're seeing right now? Because I think this is a team that has to look to lean on the veterans at this point. We know we're better than this. We've proved it all season. Let them disseminate that confidence through the locker room. But this opening drive, it'll be an important one for them to give them a little jolt of confidence moving forward. On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And out across midfield down to the 45. So much for the run on 3rd and 1. Instead, it's a big chunk in the pass game. First down. Normally on 3rd down and short yardage, you're thinking to throw to your tight end. It's just going to be a simple chain mover. But this time they let him roam down the field, and a nice dart picks up the first down and then some. So into Cardinal territory now. It's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. Now a handoff running through the middle. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on 1st down. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he is going to have the Bucs first down by about a yard as they find a way to convert there on 3rd down and 5. Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going? They go play action here on 1st down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And they're going to work this down to about the 32-yard line. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And this play a lot like the previous one, thanks to that stout Cardinal defense. Back-to-back, they've been tackled behind the line. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And a throw there going to be incomplete.
Now McManus will line up for the field goal. He's going to need a little mustard on this one. It will be a 51-yard attempt. The kick by McManus is good, and that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but he does draw them even.
Yeah, that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And we see James. He will now return it, and they'll bring it out to the 25. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. And their 3-point halftime lead gone now, back to a tie game. But, Charles, I don't imagine that changes too much for this offense.
I would agree. I don't think it changes much at all, whether it's a 3-point lead or a tie game. They know they have their work cut out for them, and they were going to run their offense in the same vein.
And they'll keep leaning on the running game. Back to the ground. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. One quarter remains for a trip to the NFC title game. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. 2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Here's Winston. And that is incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
And here's Gillen on now to punt as he gets this one away. Here comes Cohen. Well, that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. So out come the Bucs now. And several days ago, you and I talked with a couple of guys in the meetings about how big is home field advantage. And they kind of downplayed it a bit, but I think we're seeing here today, building up this lead, looks like they're going to win. Why home field advantage in the divisional round so important?
Yeah, they may have downplayed it, but we could also sense that it was important to them because nothing has to change. You don't have to uproot anything. Sometimes when you're going on the road, you may have to even leave earlier in order to get acclimated if it's going to be a tough environment against the team you're going to play. So being at home was a big deal, but now they know, at least they feel like it, they're moving on to the championship round. There's got to be no better feeling. They'll get that 24-hour rule in. Enjoy that before they look forward to the next opponent.
Looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And unable to connect. Incomplete. I'll give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. 8 yards on the return following a punt of 41. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And as a fan of the NFL, not much more you could hope for in this divisional round matchup. Tie game, 4th quarter. A lot of these fans with their hearts in their throats waiting to see what happens here. 2nd down at 6 now from the 42. And they'll give him another shot here on the ground. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. A gain of 10, 1st down, Arizona.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
5 yards is the tally on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Getting down to the good stuff. All tied with 2 minutes remaining on EA Sports. So the Cardinals, they've got the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 2nd down now as they search for a score to break this tie. On 2nd down, they'll run it here. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. 51 yards rushing for him in the ball game now on 14 carries.
Well, they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Here's a give up the middle. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Now the Bucs going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This will be play number 8 here on the drive. It's 3rd and a yard. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And he'll have the first down, getting this one to the 14-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. And they'll run on the inside handoff. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7. 2nd down and 3, ball on the 7. One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And that's a touchdown as they've broken our tie here in the final minute of the 4th.
Well, any thoughts about overtime have ended at this juncture. That touchdown puts them up 6. I would imagine they'll kick the extra point now and rely on their defense.
Yeah, rely on their defense. So a little bit of time left on the clock here in the 4th, but they got to feel good now. Elliott on for the extra point. He's got it as they go up by a total of 17-10. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive. And in the end, it's capped off by a 7-yard run. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So now the Bucs down by 7, 40 seconds to go. They've got to travel the full 75 yards, and time is obviously a huge factor here. 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. They'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. One final shot. They'll look to throw. Letting one fly deep for Cooper. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, they got the tip they were looking for but couldn't secure it. And this one's over. Well, one side moves on, and then, of course, there's the other side. And now they face what they don't want to face, and that's the offseason.
Think about the journey just getting to this game. Preseason, right? The OTAs and mini camps before that. Going through the regular season, fighting and scratching and clawing to make it to the playoffs. And then to get to this game, one game short of a conference championship, they'll have the whole offseason to think about it. Let's see if they use it as motivation.